Howdy folks, and welcome to the first ever Meta Mondays here on the channel. I've decided that for a while now, we're going to, on Mondays, play something that is kind of generally accepted by the community as being really good. And it seemed like a really obvious place to start with Warrior Aggro. So we are taking, I got this list from CVH, and I haven't practiced with it at all, because I thought part of the fun would be seeing like how approachable these lists are. I'm going to throw back the Earthbound Spinner, keep the Savior and the Siege Catapult. We're against Slagathor 1, who is on Battle Mage. Let's do this. Alright, Orc Clan Captain. So, earliest we're swinging with this is turn 3. Or turn 4, I'm sorry. I think I do just play it, though. Sometimes opponents go to pretty great lengths to oppose these things. Sure. So I could play this, but it just trades, and yeah, that seems okay. I mean, it's going to take a minute before we can turn the Siege Catapult on, but I don't think that they can remove both this turn. Loot is the card my opponent has played. Okay. Alright, well, we got stuff. We've dealt no damage to our opponent. What does it mean that loot is in their deck? Piercing Twilight on my Hunting Spirits. Okay. So a lot of draws will let us turn on our Catapult, including that one. But now I'm really worried about just the fact that I'm losing this to a Lightning Bolt, which isn't great. They could Ice Storm too, I guess. Conjuration Scholar is not what I expected. Maybe I just cash this in. Yeah, that seems fine. And even though it's not the best use of my Magicka, I'm just going to play the ALS Huntmaid. I'm going to trade into that. I don't want another Prophecy, and I don't want that getting blinked or something. Obviously it makes it weak to Skaven and stuff, but I think that's okay. I think our hand's good enough. We do have the Wood-Ark Headhunters in this list. The opponent offering no resistance. Looks like a good turn to drop a couple Mammoths. And I'm going to put him in the same lane as the Windkeep Spell Swords because we've seen the Piercing Twilights, the Frost Atronox and stuff, and the wards will minimize my losses, although I could next turn. I guess I only have 12 on board. Could draw cheap Orc, give this charge. Battle Rage Orc. Okay. Well, that represents lethal. And we had a Prophecy. I probably could have swung in some kind of order. Ooh, bad news, man. Bad news. I can silence and buff and kill. Alright, turn 8. That might be the first game I have ever played with just straight aggro warrior, and it went pretty well. Let's come right back for another one in just a second. Alright, time for game 2 with Meta Mondays Warrior. I kind of like this idea, right? Because there was a time, a long time ago, when I played consistent decks on a pretty regular basis. And I was pretty good. I mean, I finished top 10 Legend. I was rank 1 Legend a few times. And I really have drifted far from that. I really have. So it's going to be interesting on these Mondays to see where we go from here. Like, what I'm capable of with these decks. It's going to be an interesting one. We had the ring, so I kept the 2 3-drops, and I hope to draw a 1 or 2-drop to go along with it. And Withered Hand Cultist just seems like one of the weaker cards in this matchup, assuming it's aggro warrior. Awesome, Barrow Stalker.
I smell the stench of the living.
I probably just play Haunting Spirit. No play on 1 and 2 suggests to me that it's either a warrior deck that didn't get lucky with a 2-drop, an aggro warrior deck, or that it's Rage Warrior. No play on 3 says Rage Warrior. So let's swing. Let's play Mudcrab Merchant. We want the Dren Bodyguard just for the body. If we ring this out, we have nothing to play next turn. But I think that's okay. On 4, they might just develop a Archane Venom Tongue. Okay, that makes sense. Alright, well, we do have something to play. If I play it on top of the Mudcrab, it represents quite a bit of damage, so we're going to go ahead and do that. It also turns on charge for our Wood Orc Headhunter next turn. We are just smorking. Our opponent overdraws, Dremora Marcanase, and Belligerent Giant. Cards I like a lot. Cards that I'm like, well, Belligerent Giant's okay. Dremora Marcanase, that's a card I want to play. So if they have Crossbow into Sword, they don't. Okay, so they are dead. Just dead. There we go. Turn 5. Alright, we'll be right back for another one, guys. Alright, back for game number 3. We started in the bottom of the Serpent because I was streaming and... because I think it's fun to play those decks. But we are now out of the Serpent, and we're making progress. Let's see if we can keep the streak alive. What have we learned about Aggro Warrior so far? Well, there was a point in game 1 where I did not play ideally. I didn't do lethal ideally. And I was thinking about that last game. I think that last turn again, I should have swung with the Orc instead of with the Barrowstalker, so that if a Prophecy was to remove one of my creatures, or they had a Prophecy Guard, I sacrificed the Barrowstalker and I still have lethal with the big guy. And we're playing against Warrior again. I guess it's Meta Mondays, although this could be a different kind of Warrior. I don't really... I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do here. My inexperience with the deck is showing. A turn 1 Orc Clan Captain sucks. Just sucks. We're going to do it. And we're going to steal Scimitar it. Which should allow it to trade into just about anything. Prepare to die. Okay, Barrowstalker. Alright, our opponent is the emote spamming type. Alright, so we have a 4-2. I think I'd rather play Morkel Gatekeeper next turn. Raiding Party. If they don't use both of them right now, I can punish them pretty severely, but it looks like they're going to. Okay. Sure. So I did not expect Raiding Party in their deck. This is a different kind of deck than ours, obviously. I'm going to play Morkel. Aelus Huntmate into Morkel will let me draw a card. But I feel like... I just have this feeling Earthbound Spinner is going to be useful next turn. Okay. They are also a ramp deck. So who knows what's going on. Cradle Crush next turn is a punish. I probably Underworld Vigilante into it, but I think I lose if I just play for the board like that. Second Raiding Party, and another Prepare to Die message. Into Protector of the Innocent. Okay, that's a pretty good draw.
Keep your distance. I have the trail.
Get some cards. Force them to have an answer. Siege Catapult is not one that feels good to draw as the game goes on. It also doesn't feel good to be at turn 5 in this situation. Okay, we're playing against Doomcrag Warrior. Sure. Okay. Mudcrab Merchant. Alright. Take the Murkwater Shaman.
To oblivion with you.
And then fill the lane. Thalmor Embassy, kind of the perfect card to give your opponent. So this is definitely going much differently than our last one. There's the Dushnik for probably the Catapult. No, they have a Fell the Mighty, or another. Yeah, Fell the Mighty. Okay, well we're gonna push 4 damage, and they're pushing damage. Okay. Well, we have Woodorc Headhunter for reach.
Be silent. I smell the stench of the living.
Alright, I'm going to drop that down just to sort of gum up that lane. I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do here. Okay, they rapid shot. Okay. There's Amulet. Amulet. They don't have any more ping creatures? Nord Firebrand. They're really going to race us. Huh. And I'm going to lose. I'm going to lose this race. They have 10 on board. So I'm going to have to take out one of their creatures unless I can kill them this turn. I have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Or I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9. No, I don't have lethal. Wait, do I? 12. 18 is all I can do. Okay, well, let's kill their creatures then.
Wrong place for a midnight stroll. There's nowhere they can hide. The hunter becomes hunted. Be silent.
Alright. So we're at 12, they have 4 on board. We have a lot of damage potential next turn. They're going face. That was the most thought I put into this deck so far, though, so that was interesting. How do I eke out those last few points of damage?
Praise to Namir.
Shrine. Treeminder. Skaven. So I think they're dead. Guess we'll see what kind of prophecies they hit.
Wrong place for a midnight stroll. To oblivion with you.
Sweet. And once again, I did not swing in the correct order, which is unfortunate. I could have skipped that last rune, and I didn't think about it. So there is some stuff, some nuance here that I'm picking up on. I usually play decks that take me to a point where, like, I won, like, I'm not winning on the margins, I guess, like these are. I'm usually winning in excessive fashion, because that's how I think it's fun. We'll give it another game or two and see what we can learn. What else we can learn. Alright, let's do a 4th game with Aggro Warrior. This is the CVH version of the archetype. There is actually a really spicy card in it that we haven't drawn yet, unfortunately. But I would like to pick it up. Obviously, I'll put the screenshot up and the deck code and everything. But credit to him for coming up with the deck. Let's see here. I actually asked him about it. He says, yes, I sometimes tech one to fuck with mirror matches or wall up a catapult in a mirror if I can't use it for burst. Okay. That makes sense. This hand. I think I throw back Steel Scimitar. We're against Mage. Just responding to him, explaining. All right, let's do this. We have the warrior curve and we have the ring, but we're not even going to need it. Execute. Firebolt. That's amazing. All right. I'll take my 0 for 1 or my 1 for 0 or something like that. So I assume that there's some kind of punish here, but like maybe a mage's trick, like this is action mage or something. Or, you know what's probably happening? I just released a video where I dealt 32 damage with somebody in one turn with one of these because it had a ward at the start of my turn. They're probably concerned about that. Now they see the siege catapult and they wonder how far I've fallen.
We must press our advantage.
Well, perfect. I can turn it on this turn. I guess we take the body, even though reach is like, you know, kind of good. I'm just going to force the damage here. My opponent could have Ice Storm, and it would blow me out. That's really all there is to say about that. But I'm guessing they have a Lightning Bolt. Not a second Firebolt, because I didn't do anything about this. Yeah. Okay. That's fine. So, we will push more damage. And drop down a friend that can rumble with a Hive Defender. So, casting into time on my Bleak Coast Trolls. It's fine. I push another 7 damage. Mudcrab Merchant. I should Merchant before I swing. I don't want my opponent to have any guards. That's basically it. Overdraws execute. Opponent at 10. We had some good friends here. Alright, Firebolt. They could have had Ice Storm. They didn't. Firebolt execute. So they are removing a bunch of stuff. I gotta push 6. I have lethal draws. That's not one of them. They did hit a prophecy. Okay. So they can't play Dawn's Wrath next turn? We might struggle, actually, to connect these last few points of damage. I think I've played this correctly. Okay. Alright, so, again, we have lethal draws. Like that. Alright, we have to give the Mudcrab the lethal, because this is my channel still, even if we are playing Aggro Warrior. We'll be back to see if we can make this a 5-win streak in a row with a deck I've never played before. Alright, so let's see how this goes. We have still not drawn the Singleton U shield, but I really, you know, having heard the explanation, I like it, and I'd like to see it go, like, do something. It's my favorite card in the deck. Although Mudcrab Merchant's obviously fantastic, we haven't had an opportunity to. Oh shit! It's Burn. One of the 16 players from QuakeCon. Sandra says, "Woo." You know what? Against Mage, I'm gonna keep Withered Hand Cultist. Let's do it.
Hail, friend.
Greetings, citizen.
So Burn is definitely a Mage aficionado. I'm gonna play Haunting Spirit. If this survives, I play Haunting Spirit before Withered Hand Cultist. Now I don't think there's a punish to playing Haunting Spirit. Next turn, Dragontail Savior, Wind keeps Spell Sword. We are Warrior with the Ring. Alright. Altmer Dragon Knight, I would like you to meet Withered Hand Cultist. And next turn we have some options. It may be wrong to play it there. I mean, he could still like Firebolt this. Hive Defender. Okay. Well, now we're just going to Smork. And the correct move is to poke it, so that they have to trade if they don't want to use an action. And if they use an action before it dies, that's wasted Magicka or something. I don't know, like, there's Morkel Gatekeeper as far as prophecies go. I'm not sure what else there possibly is. Poor Burn. Burn's one of my favorite guys that I met at QuakeCon. He's a really cool guy, and I know he loves his mage, and to run into him on Meta Monday is unfortunate. Okay. So we are getting raced. It hit probably the last one he wanted it to hit. Wow. Well, we might lose this race. Play 5 Magicka worth of stuff. He's gonna hit me for 10 next turn. Without killing this, he can't kill me. I think we play this and a Steel Scimitar. Alright, so if I get hit in the face for 10 and he has 6 Magicka, with this still alive, he can't kill me with like Lightning Bolt, Ice Spike or something like that. Even though that wouldn't kill me anyway. This is definitely an interesting one. And again, it's that same feeling we had in those other ones where we're like trying to win on the margins. Put it on the most innocent looking of the critters. And there's that prophecy we were talking about. It's just fluttering the mouse across his screen. Alright. Well, there you go. That was 5-0 with a deck I'd never played before for Meta Mondays. And I hope that, like, and let me know in the comments too, I think that, like, hopefully that walking through it like that was helpful. You know, learning as I learned. So, and again, this is just going to happen on Mondays. We're just going to, you know, choose some kind of. I'll take suggestions too for, excuse me, really popular, successful decks that I've never played before, and we'll have this adventure together. See y'all on the ladder.